Hello and welcome to another update on Bitcoin. We want to start here on the daily time frame. I want to take you through the different scenarios that we're dealing with here. I've added a new one today, which doesn't really change much, but looking at the chart, it is another scenario I'm considering. It allowed me to add another micro support area, like the upper support area, to the chart. So we want to talk about that. Overall, all of these scenarios are bullish at the moment, which makes it quite easy actually. So situation should be quite clear on the Bitcoin chart. I wrote a piece today for our members on Discord just to highlight the overall risk, however, because in my view still that's unchanged. We are quite close to a top, so that needs to be considered. Talked a little bit about, kind of, is it too late to buy, or just kind of the consideration of things I think people need to think about, and that kind of relates all to the pattern we're dealing with, because we have a pretty full wave count from the 2022 low. So from down here, yeah, it is a pretty full 5-wave move up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that fifth wave also has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. So hey, what can I say? From an Elliott Wave point of view, we can now say that the top could form at any point. Yeah, because while I did say that already in December, January, I highlighted that I prefer one more high. Situation has now shifted a bit. We have had that one more high. You could say the forecast has been fulfilled, but we haven't yet quite reached my ideal target at 130K. So the rally seems a little muted at this point. I'd like to see the rally go a little higher towards 130K. But honestly, from that top that formed in May, we are really only like 15% away from that target. And that is really just striking distance in the crypto world. So please, that's important to understand. Nevertheless, I still prefer upside slightly. But obviously, we all have to just approach it with the right attitude and mindset, given where we are in the greater cycle. So, and again, don't get me wrong, 130K is not the maximum target, but it is my first ideal target for this cycle. It's the target I've been focused on for years, and we are nearly there. So for now, the focus is on higher, though. There are two scenarios which could take the price higher directly. There is one scenario in which we go up like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If that move up in a very direct fashion happens, like a 5-wave move up, then we might only get to around about 125K maybe. Yeah, that's it. A more bullish count is the yellow count, which shouldn't really differ in terms of retracement depth, but it would be something like an A, B, C structure. These are all valid wave counts. Yeah? And then this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Might take us closer to 130K, maybe even slightly above. I think, honestly, the most bullish count, even though it doesn't look like that in the short term, would be if this is all a larger A wave, we form a larger B wave, and then can form a nice 5-wave move up in wave C. That would be more bullish, could even take us to 150, 160K. These are the scenarios. In all of these scenarios, it's important to understand that below 93K roughly, yeah, I think it's more like a 93.9K, yeah. The yellow and orange scenarios will not be preferred anymore. For now, these don't even really differ from each other much, but I prefer them over white, which is the larger pullback. Below that 93.9K level, it becomes obvious that we're in a larger pullback, and then the focus will shift to that lower support area, which you already see on the chart, which you know about anyway if you've followed videos over recent months, and it's between 81.3 to 95.8K. Yeah, theoretically, I don't need the upper section. Maybe I'll remove it. So it's this area, actually, 91.3 to 81.3K. This is the support area that will come into focus then. That would be the B-wave pullback. But bottom line is, as long as we're holding above 81.3K, we are still in a bullish market. All right. So that's the idea. Quite simple, I think. Bullish, or short-term bearish, then bullish. Eventually, they should lead to the same result. But it all needs to be approached from an attitude and mindset that we are very, very close to a long-term top, in my opinion. Yeah. The only thing is we haven't really had that euphoria phase, but maybe we don't even get it. But yeah, Trend is still up. We're just in what I believe is a corrective pullback in a large uptrend for now. Let's take a look at the shorter time frame count for Bitcoin. Where are you? Oh yeah. Before we do that, before I forget, we have now launched yesterday actually our Spanish-speaking membership. We have a Spanish-speaking team. If you are speaking Spanish, you are welcome to join our Spanish-speaking community. You get daily updates, intraday updates for various coins, and much more. There are Spanish videos. There's just no live stream yet, at least. But you get basically all our benefits. The first 250 members get a very, very special price. You can follow the link in the video description. But I would recommend only people who really speak Spanish join. And I know a lot of people here speak Spanish. A lot of viewers come from Spain or from South America, Latin America, Spanish-speaking countries. So you're welcome to check it out. Again, those prices won't come back. It's only really for the first 250 members to build a core foundation of members who help us build this, because essentially it's about the community, right? That's what it's about, building it together. And yeah, feel free to check it out if you're interested. So let's go to the shorter time frame here on this chart. This is just our 30-minute chart. We haven't really had any change, not yet. So ultimately, there are many ways how this can be counted. I don't want to get into I don't want to get into arguments here. This is not an ego game. I mean, we're way beyond that, right? There are always people who say, "Oh, it's this count or that count or whatever." What I try to make clear in every video, actually, or regularly at least, when I'm educating as well, is, what? It doesn't really matter so much. Again, there are a few ways how this could be counted, and I intentionally try to keep it simple as possible, in a messy structure like that. But what really matters isn't whether we call that move here a wave 4 or a wave B or an X wave or something. What really matters is that we understand what is our resistance area, which is this one, and do we have a 5-wave move up? And we don't. Okay, so we are still below resistance. We don't have a 5-wave move up. So there's no evidence that we have a substantial low in place. It's just not there. There can be a case for a low that's already formed, but honestly, with a weak move up like that, deep retracements, corrective rally only, we can push a bit higher, but as long as it's not a 5-wave move, there's no reason to be super excited about it. So how would a 5-wave move look like? Wave 1, wave 2. This would be some kind of a diagonal. I don't know. It would be some kind of a diagonal. So it would be wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, yeah, wave 4, wave 5. That's what it would be. So I don't only need another push higher. I need another higher low and another higher high. That's what I'm, of course, watching for. But until we get that, the rally is seen as corrective. And we might already be on our way down in the 5th wave. I mean, I like the idea of that yellow scenario here. That might still send us lower more directly. Nothing clearly bullish. It takes a break below 103,630. That swing low that formed, I believe it was on Monday, to suggest or confirm actually that we're already in this 5th wave down. Okay, so that's the yellow pathway. That's the direct move down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 5th wave would be an A, B, C structure probably, right? So we could go a little higher before we go down further. But yeah, this is just noise, really. There's no point really trying to waste many brain cells on that. The wave counts are on the chart. Bottom line is we haven't got a strong indication that we have a substantial low in place. If anything changes, you hear it first in our members area. And I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure to follow us on X. There are a lot of discussions going on. You can get updates about charts. Let us know your opinions about certain things. It's a great space to communicate and engage a little bit. Yeah, join us there as well. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.